See if I can. Usually I share this on Premium Account X. Twitter is required to create live broadcast of their performance. Okay, so we'll take off the Twitter, remove the Twitter, and add the Odyssey. Okay, there we go. How is everybody this evening? I usually never know where I'm going to start. Usually I get something done. I'm looking to do maybe a half-hour video tonight. I've been having a little bit of trouble with my cat lately. But the cat I seem to support a little bit deeper, right, in my chest. So I have to just calm it down just a bit, which impedes me from going all the way into my thoughts. Yes, I remember everything that I do, but I get a better flow when I'm breaking the gateways. And 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8, and 6 breaking the 7th gate, calling that 420. So you can see deep into the other room. You can see on the floor. You can see what this place looks like. It'd be nice if there'd be a little bit of participation. I never know where I'm going to begin. I keep going over the same work over and over for the past few weeks. I'm always adding something to it. Sometimes it goes unrecognized. Sometimes it goes unrecognized. So we're going to get this light out of the way. Now, I'd really like to know if anybody is new here. Let me see if I can just take this off over here. I'm going to need a little bit of light so I can write. First of all, let me explain to you what I do and why I call this the skeleton alphabet. Just like the arm that holds the light, the arm that holds the camera, the arm that holds something, supporting something, right? Well, the numbers are supporting something. The dots and the dashes, okay, connect to create the characters that we call the alphabet. Yes, you heard it right. It's not only the Asian alphabet, right, that has characters that tell stories, but the alphabet as you know it, the ones that is made fun of by all the witches and warlocks, for me, is casting a spell. It is casting the spell. It is misunderstood, and we have 2 English languages. I want to spread that a little bit deeper. We have 2 skeletons for the same numerics. So we have to understand the numerics, how it carries that character. For when it forms a word into a phrase, which is called a sentence, that the sentence ends with a period of 28 days, that we now have to question, is it the 28th day of the moon that comes into this reality, although it is noted to be 29 and 30 days of the moon? Right? It seems to work out to more 28 than those 29 and 30. I mean, if I looked it up, the Hebrews say it's 29 and 30 days. But we also have 13 moons in a year. We have 13 moons times 28 days is the base of what we work. We work with a skeleton. And in the skeleton, everything is absolutely perfect. I think I forgot my scarf somewhere. I don't know where it is. I really would like to dive I would really like to dive and learn more about the zodiac, more about the rotation and the waxing and the moving of the moons, of the different signs, what it means, what is the rat? How do the Indians see the rat or the ox or the tiger? Or what is interchange between the cat and the rabbit, both noted for communication, and the rabbit is stamping 55555. In fact, the rabbit is telling you it is the key and it is the towing of the creation 6 through the moons, which I believe happens to be the sun. And it stamps with the rabbit, knocks its back feet down, it stamps 11. And then it has 2 dots that are in front from the front feet. That looks like I and I. I don't know about you, but it looks like, that's what it looks like to me. And then we have to understand the now I want to know where cotton comes from. Now, what does the, where was I right now? Yes, the rabbit. Number 52. Now try and write all this down because I'm going to be throwing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have branches up before I have the roots in the ground. I'm going to have the trunk on the car or the elephant. I'm going to have the rabbit as the 4th sign. Not only is it the 4th sign, but if it was in the Olympics, it would be runner-up. And when it runs, its cotton pick and tail keeps stabbing in the ground, showing behind 11. Is like this. And this is how the rabbit runs. Now, since I know, because of what I read and shared amongst the children of the world, that Mars has 2 moons. So let me check it up, because everything I do can be found somewhere. I'm telling you, one of these, calculator, one of these, a dice, a telephone, the ATM, a deck of cards, the game of pool, the game of baseball, the game of soccer. All the rules and regulations are actually one of the equations that take the numbers, okay, and work them out into the star system so we can understand the numbers, so that we have a letter that goes with the number and the word. We can understand it because we understand the skeleton. We understand the gearing of the clock that's moving around all these letters, telling all these stories. And then there's the expression, the noun, the verb, the color commentary in every single sport. And wait a cotton picking minute. Now, where does cotton come from? It comes from the field. Wool, right, comes from the lamb or the sheep. So when they're running out, you have a singular moon here is Luna. And you have the 2 moons over here, okay, of Mars. Phobos, phobia, and Demas, demon. So what does 11, 11, 11 possibly do? What can 11, 11, 11 possibly do? Can it be, 11 and 11, would I see it this way, the 2 moons? Or is there an individual over here? Or is it like this? Or is it like this? And then we have the 2 here. And then we have this over here, right? And then I have this over here. And then I have this over here. And then I have this. Is this, how would it be set up? Because I know that this is the first rabbit. This is the front feet. These are the back feet. So we know the back feet, right? We know the back feet, right? Now, if it was only a single foot, would I look at this, or would I think it differently, right? Would it be a single foot standing up on 1 foot? How can we count this? Can we change that reality around? But anyways, to note, we have the trunk, we have, where is it? We have the trunk, yes. So we have the trunk, and the trunk goes with the red light, right? The hood goes with the white light, white or yellow. 4, 13, and 30, 43. We're going to call that DC hot. Imagine the motors in the front, I call it DC hot, 8 and 15 and 15 and D4. Do I get that right? 838 and 442. I did that wrong, right? It's 42. Wow, I like that even better for me. Okay, it's actually going to be a D and B, right? There is no spirit in the D and B. The reflection of D and B is going to be C and E. So the reflection of what is 6 is going to be 8. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 8 and 6. Now what's so ironic about 8 and 6, and did I jump off the cotton picking rabbit? Should I go back to the cotton picking rabbit? Animal tracks. Hold on a second. We have tracks. We have the race tracks. We have the did you leave a track? You know. Then we got tracks. We got all kinds of track, and I wrote down the track, right? T-R-A-C-K. So we wrote down the track. Is there a rack in the track? I don't know. We also have inside a track coming out as the second 2 letters is the R-A, and a lot of times when R-A are together, it's talking about the sun. And in some facts, when AC come together, you are connecting to 2 systems. Okay, here is your C, right? And what they have in common is that singular dot, and that's going to connect to the half-life, and this one is going to connect to Mars. So right away we can see our AC connects to the just give me a second. The AC is going to connect to the BD, which is your 6, before you end up with the moons, right? We end up with the moons. First we're created at 6, and then we end up with the communication center. We end up with Mars and our moon to connect to Mars. That's the system. And when we connect to that system, okay, it is, just let me think. Oh, right, footprints, right? Footprints, yes, print. So we have NT. Sometimes when I see NT together, I know it's 34. I also note that 34 is CD. And CD and not DC also goes with cold. And I know cold goes with blue. And I know blue can mix with red, but right now it hasn't in order to make purple. I also know that blue will mix with yellow. So we're going to take the 2 prime colors and we're going to mix them, and we're going to get purple and we're going to get green. Green 49, purple 88. We mix yellow 92, and we mix red 27. You know, 9/11, right, is red 27/9, yellow is 92, and that's 11. Now, yeah, you can make it up. Of course you can make it up. Of course we can make it up. But when you bring the spirit into the soul, and the only time that can happen is when life comes into into the womb, right? And on the 91st day, according to numbers, according to games, because everything comes from games, is that when you add up 1 through 13 cards in the deck of cards, 1 through 13, there's 13, ace through king, or just 13 cards altogether, so just count 13. So 1 through 13 equals to 91. 13 by 7 equals to 91. 7, okay, 91 divided by 7 is 13. So now we have 7 and 7 times 13 equals to 91. We have, hold on a second, 91 divided by 7, okay, equals to 13. The reason I do it is, you see, when you divide something, I need 2 dots for that division, right? I need a line and 2 dots. So right away, I know when there's a dot over a line and a dot under a line, it's going to tell me in my fairy tale fantasy that it's going to be 6 and 4. in those dots. It's also going to say a line. It's also going to say 3 and 7. So it's going to say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to explain it to you. A line, okay, in the Mayans is valued at 5. A dot is valued at 1. So since I put 1 above and I don't have a different, an alternative reality for that, and I put 1 below, as like Roman numerals with the V1 and 1V equaling to what is 4, 5, and 6. Since there's 2 dots, 1 above and 1 below with the division sign, I'm going to assume, right, that there's a line because we're connecting both worlds. So it's connecting to 2, 5, 2. Did I get that right? Yes, because it has the 2 dots, so it's going with Mars, so it's going to connect the Mars moon, and the line is going to be the connection for the Earth moon, right? Earth, okay, has a line, and Mars has a dot. The reason for that, okay, is Earth is number 52, and Mars is number 51. So I use Earth as V11, and I use Mars as V1. Just to note that I should be using L11 and L1, I do not. I bring it down and count it just like they do in Pythagorean. I count it to a single digit. The thing about this 91, right, 1 through 13, is that there's 2 suits. 2 times 91 equals to 182. And that's in one color. And then there's 2 suits times 91 equals to 182. And the total is 4 by 91 equaling to 364, which is ironic that 13 times 28 days in the cycle moon, right, equals 364. And uncanny that in one situation I multiplied by 91. In the other one I multiplied by 28. Now, do you see anything going on in this? Yeah, 1 and 3 equals to 4. 2 and 8 is inside what is 1 and 9. It's 1, 2, 8, 9. This brings 2 worlds together. This also, what it is when you measure to 13, it's 616 according to the Monopoly game, where the word cube 31, okay, is 30 from go, but is the 31st property. There are 7 times 31 property. That gateway between 6 and 8 is 7. That gateway between 6 and 8 is 7. Did I explain that properly? The 31st property, which is 30 from go. Remember, 30 days and 31 days in the month. 1 month is 29 and 1 month is 28. Did you know the 28th day, or if you roll 28, right, you end from go, sitting on go, because you start somewhere, right? If you roll 28 from go, if I remember correctly, you're on electric company. Is it waterworks or electric company? So let me see this over here. Let me go to Monopoly. No, I have to go to Monopoly in here. No, not here. Hold on a second. Do I have Monopoly in here? So let me see. Let me see. Star David Moondunker. Okay, it's not giving Monopoly. I never seem to get what I want, what I need. I need to share. Share now. Oop. I'm looking for Monopoly. Give me a minute. And just to say, when you bend things over, this is what happens. Just give me a minute to bring this up. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's waterworks. It's waterworks. I'm going to see if I can focus on this phone. See, here's the Monopoly. If you want, take a screenshot so you can look at it by yourself. And you can see that the trains, you see the way I set up the trains, right? See the way everything is set up? It's all set up by the understanding of the trains, how this whole board gets divided up. The Christmas trees is, okay, or are, is that every corner owns both sides, like GOV property, right? GOV property owns all these realities. And then what is next to it has all the hotels except for on the green space, which is short line, right? If you notice, the second one is electric company. The second to last, okay, from the car is the question mark, right? All the trains are at 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, right? B and O, 66. Remember that, right? B and O, 15 and 2, 17, right? 66, 76, right? 76. No, I think 66 was, let me see it. Hold on a second. This is going to be 46, 56. So yeah, 66 is B&O, 76 is short line. Let me see if that's right. Yes, because it starts below, right? It starts at 6. And then you're going to have 76 is short line rail, right? It's just short line. We have Reading Railroad. We have Pennsylvania Railroad. We have B&O Railroad, but we do not have any more railroads. We have a short line. Copy, couple, prints. So another thing, I'm going to show you this one other design, and this design comes together, right? If you take a look, it's the number 2 and then the number 5, right? And I'm not really sure what I did, but I did 2, 5, and I think I did 2, 5 again. I'm not remembering exactly what I did to create this design. I have to look it over again. It's been a while. If you take a look on the bottom, right, it's the same design as what's on top. The in-between, I'm not really sure what I did there. I have to take a look and see. Yeah, I think it's all 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, and it creates that. I'm going to have to go over that and take a look at it. Just give me 1 second to look through a few of these designs and see if I'm going to share them or where I am with these designs. Give me a minute. I did this crop circle a few years ago, following all the lines of the crop circles. For those who say they find nothing in the crop circles, all you have to do is follow and understand the lines that go through it. There's obligations that you have to follow. Let me see if there's anything else. But the end result, this is what should happen. This is going to be the end result, my friends. So now that the stripes are this way and that way, take a look at the stripes. On the hat, they go up and down. But on the body, they go across. So up and down, would that say I? And on the body, does that say H? Right? That's the question. Two singers. Then there's the, if you really take a look at it, right, when you connect the Star of Davids next to each other, you're going to connect the 88. Now, if you overlap that 88,
right? If you overlap the 88, they just become 8. So the question is 88 because it starts on that side and ends on this side, or do we overlap every 88, or do we create dimensions? So part of what I do, I share. What I'm doing now is I'm questioning myself possibly for the future. One of my first findings, right, was this. So about 20 years ago, I found this. Well, not that, but that's Sesame Street. Me and my buddy were there, and what it reminded me is because Grover was there, is that Grover Cleveland got counted twice in the elections, the 22nd and the 24th. It just so happens that the 23rd was 2-8. What's happening now and who took over? The initials are the same thing. 2-8. The K letter and the H letter are 2 and 8, the same thing. The 23rd president, okay, which was, I think it was Benjamin Harrison, and the 46th president. So what is 22, 23, 24 become 45, 46, 47? See, everything I was like, wow, it's not the same. No, it's not. It's not on the same level, but it says the same thing because I doubled the 23. Not only that, okay, not only did I double the 23 into 46, 47, okay, is not what double 24 is, because double 24 becomes 48. The thing is about 23 and 24, it's 23 WD and 24 XC, or sexy. The reason for that is because the D is the D and the W invert the alphabet. The C and the X invert the alphabet. When you go to this dice cube, there are 6 sides. Once you stop at 3, right, we have to go to the other side of 4. So just what happened with the 23rd president is now the 26th president, and we have to go back to the 45th president to make the 45th president the 47th president. Fox headquarters is the saying of Zion, Israel. And those words are inside the programmation. The word Zion is numeric value. I think it's 64, right? And Israel is 64. The word 0 is 64. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4 is 24 and 10 equaling to 34 and 14. Now, I had a little equation today that came out to that answer. I want to see where it was. It was like tripping my mind when I saw that answer. Right over here. The pig, the 12th zodiac sign, 32, right? But lo and behold, is the pig the 32nd? Guess what? We got bookends. Ram is 32. We have the rat at 39. So the ram, Eris, okay, which is the ram, is it not? Is number 32, and it's the first Western astrological sign. This one is 1 and 2, 12, becomes the 12th Chinese zodiac sign. So give me a minute. I'm a little chilly. I want to put on my sweater, but I'm not going out to my car because either I'm lazy or I don't want the cold, or I don't want to leave it long enough. I don't know which one it was. I don't like to lie, but I can't tell you the whole truth. Well, I could tell you the whole truth, but I won't lie, but I just won't tell you the whole story. There you go. Why did I say that? I'm not really sure, but it just sounded good to say because we have to understand how everybody speaks. I said that trying to understand, just, talk. You have to understand talk. You don't lie. You don't tell the whole story. Now, why do people do that? Why do people do that? I had to decorate myself in jewels. And where are these jewels? The jewels are what make you feel good. What brings on your good vibration. You don't want to walk into a negative vibration. What does it mean to walk into a negative vibration? Isn't this about numerology? Why are you trying to be funny? The skeleton of numerology and the basics, has to explain how everything works, how everything balances with itself. I don't know much about the flower children that do whatever they did in the 60s, and they saw all this crazy stuff, and you know what happened in the 60s, right? Because right now, you know where we are? We're in the 60s again. Yes. For all those who do not know, we're in the 60s once again. I just want to show you up there, right? Have you seen that? I'm going to take in 1 second. I just want to go get some water in the kitchen. Don't feel sorry. Be happy. So much information that I think I'm going to store my information up on the moon. Information in memory has been told to me by the internet. Let me follow what the majority says, so I should not look to be crazy. Is in water. It's the water holds the information. And the moon gets bright. A reflection from the sun, perhaps? When you see fog, is it white? What color is the fog? What color is the clouds? So I'm going to store all my information in the moon, and at the end of the month, on the 28th day, I'm going to empty it out. And the wolves will be howling at the moon. Too much information. Too much information. Wolf is 56. 3 is 56. Flow is 56. 56, 5 and 6, 11. 5 times 6, 30. 30 plus, 30 minus equals 19 and 41. 19, 1 and 9 brings two worlds together. Okay, now let me explain this, okay? 19 brings two worlds together. 41, home planet. A, B, C, D are AD5, and BC, what is in between 5. So not only does 19 do this, but so does 1 and 4 do this. Okay, 1 and 4 flip over to the other side. A, B, C, D. Let me show you what's going on here. And we're gonna finish with this also, right? 1, 2, 1, right? 8, 9. 1 and 9 equals to 10. 2 and 8 equals to 10. The next one is 3 and 7. That's our base creation. And then here's our life. 20% inside the E world equals to 1. 101 plus or minus from 5 looks like this. So where was I? Yes, A, B, C, D equals to 10. We live with A, B, C, and we live with B, C, D. Our alternative is A, B, D and A, C, D, right? So we have 6, we have 9, we have 7, and we have 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the thing is, right, when you have a dice cube, you can see 5 sides. So you're going to go 1 through 5 equals to 15, or 2 through 6. That's your 11 creation. You bring these two worlds together. The heart of the cube, 3.5, which is 1.25 times 28, equaling to 35. There's 1.25 days left over at the end of the year. 5 by 5 by 5 equals 125. Yesterday was the 5-5 day, bringing it to the 10 and 25 equaling to 35. We're in a tunnel right now. In a tunnel in the center of the cube right now at this present time, day 66. We're coming into 575 on a crossover right over here, right? Into the heavens of 8. Talk about Neptune, unless things have shifted. Don't forget the numbers shift. 2, 5, 8, 2. That's the way it shifts. This becomes 1 and 7, right? Equaling to what is 8. So we're at the Q gate. Now the Q17 is reverse alphabet of J10. There's my J10. With J10 also, 6 and 9 equals to 15. 7 and 8 equals to 15, right? So when you play tennis, you use these two, right? Now what is this? Where does this come from? I have to explain that. Just give me a second. I forget where it comes from. Yes, it's the ABCD, right? And let's not talk about E, the free space that we connect the border to. And what you do is DCBA. But instead of that, when you take a look at your calculator, right, you're going to go ABC, and then you're going to go D, and then you're going to put the E inside there, and you're going to connect F, in which, if you want to look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That when you have A, B, C, D, and you have A, B, C, D, 10, you have what is 7, 9, 9, 6, 15, 7, 8, 15. You have a total of 30. So when you play tennis, you get the lower side of 10 and the higher side of 30. And then you go add 1, add 2, and you get the E world. And this is the game of tennis, which is the same thing as a canine, right? The canine, why? Because it's the dog and the cat, 24 and 26. This is where we are. Remember, 6 and 4, Mars and Saturn, the life on Saturn. Saturn holding the only 7th gate. When you drill a hole into this pops out in the center. That becomes your Saturn in Uranus. Uranus is the reflection of Earth. 3 and 7. Your creation at the 7th gate. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, which equals to 8, which equals to 6. When you take these dice and you take a turnover, and I know I'm talking a lot, when you see 6 and 2, the other side is 5 and 1. Right? So when you see 6 and 2 equals to 8, you have, let's say, 1 and 5 equals to 6. It's also the letter O. You also have the H. You do the same thing with 5 and 3, right? 5 and 3, you end up with the 2 and 4, and this is to 8, and this is to X, right? And we've got a reverse alphabet here, but I got to take a 2-second break and breathe, because there's, like I said, there's so much information. You know, I feel like sometimes, like, I got to be held, you know, and I'm sometimes a little bit afraid, you know, that I don't, that I don't blow the incoming information, because it's coming in through here. I can feel it. I can feel it flowing. And my singing bowl is gone, and I don't want to sound like a freaky, but I'm still getting into this new age of the hippie type, right? Because I saw there was something there. I know there's something there. I want to sort of be there, right? But I am who I am. But I want to go deep to see what was in their vision. I wish I had my singing bowl. Just to tell you all my thoughts, what I think sometimes when I do this, you know. We are in, and I know you know, but I do not hear you say it. I haven't even seen it. It needs to be spread and reminded to the people. And it happens every single year, except now, okay, that I'm saying it. Okay, it's the first time that we are in the reflection and in the mirror of the 60s, where we have passed every single element. We have passed 5 elements. We are in the 4th year. We are in the 4th year of passing that element. 4 and 8, the 12-year cycle, the purple ball. 4 and 8. 8 and 4 equals to 12. And that's why I say the purple ball, the 4 is purple. We are 60 from the 60s. We have went 5 times 12, 60 years from 1960. Nothing becomes a mirror, and I question that there was no 0 time. When the first year ended, it ended at a 1. When the second year ended, when the third, when the fourth, when the fifth, when the sixth, when the seventh, when the eighth, when the ninth, when the 10th year ended, there were 10 done. So it wasn't like the 9 years ended. The 9 years ended at 9, but the 10 years ended at 10. The 11 was 11, 12 was 12. So that's how I have to try and understand time. Or will I begin time in this first year, the second year, or the third year? Well, where will it start? Because the mirror only comes here in the fourth year. So if I had to bring in something on the fourth, that means your first birth of the year would happen on the 273rd plus 4 days. It would be October 4th is when creation begins. The reason for that is your A, B, C equals to 6. When you add D, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. We flip over to the other side. And you do it again, we flip over to this side. Why do I say this? In the game of roulette, which is one of my designs on the floor, right? And it's not me, the design. It told me, when I saw the game of roulette, it told me what to do. It said, you know, you're going to be 10 years old one day. He says, figure out how to connect the dots. So I connected 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 14, skipping out 13 and 15, going over to 16 and 18, going down to 19 and 21, going back into 23, 2 and 3 connection, 1 and 4 connection. Here, I'm going to show you. Right over here, right? Right over here. All the way down here, it's upside down, by the way, this board. All these boards are upside down. This board is okay. This piece is a mistake, right? But here's the design, right? I think this is when the penny came off the market in Canada. It creates this design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 8, 9, and then 1 and 2 again. This line and this line are the same. Creates this. So this over here is the roulette board. This is an obligation design. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 144 dots or numbers connected before I begin to rotate these numbers. I need to understand for my rotation, where does it show up? It's 180 degrees according to our measuring sticks. According to how things are measured, we have to understand what is a ruler of 12 inch, what is a yard, okay, of 36 inches, which is 1 yard, and we play with yards, which is hash marks in football. All hash marks are lines. Every single line is a value of 5, because that's how the Mayan count. The 1 dot and the 1 line. So if you have a rabbit foot, right, a rabbit, so it's got 2 lines, although it looks like 11, but because they're a line, with the Mayans, I'm going to see 10 plus 2 dots is 12, and 1 in the back. So the rabbit's running, it's got 13. Right? I'm going to do that again. 2 lines is 10. It's got 3 dots, 2 for the front, 1 for the tail. That's 13. That's the rabbit. Now, if you want to go plus and minus, to the front, I have 2 giving me 12. To the back, I have 1 giving me 11. Or should I minus it and give myself 9? 9 and 12. Right? The upper side and the lower side. You follow what I'm talking about? Try and keep up. I can't. Right? Anyways, I showed you that design. I was talking before about, you know, your 6, 7, and 8, right? What happens in this design over here, you see number 6? Well, it's these 2 darkened circles. Now that hard, solid line over there, right? That's the I letter. This is where number 8 comes in. When number 8 block comes in, within 6 and 8, as I just showed you before, right, we automatically create the I inside of this, and the H is connected inside of this over here. When I show you the diagonal line that goes straight up from each side, meaning the center of this, connecting each one together, remember there's the skeleton that connects the block, okay? It's either an X or it's going to be an O, one of the two, right? Those are the only 2 I use. I use the O and the X. They're both number 66. Okay. And when you use 13, it's 616. And the Monopoly board is made up that way. I'm going to explain the Monopoly board in 2 seconds. Okay. So when you reach this over here, you can see, I'm not sure if you can see this. When you see this line here, this one will be Z, and the other side will be the N connection. So it'll say Heinz right in the center. Now, Heinz is Heinz 57, and that's going to be your electronic connection to the moon, and your first G gate. There's a G and a T gate. The reverse is 20 and 7, right? 20 and 7. It connects, 6 connects 5 and 5, okay? The 5 is reverse V, right? And 5 is 55, says Sky Pass. You get TV, and then you get 5G TV from this. You want me to write it down? I'll write it down. Just give me a second. So here, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to go back, see if we can catch up what we missed. Sorry about that. Okay, over here is 5 and 5, right? Over here is 7. What happens is we take a half area over here, and that becomes the 8th position, right? But that 8th position is going to be connected over here. This part here and this part here is 6 and 6. 7 goes down, 7, 8, 9, right? 7 goes down. This position over here, this position over here is the 9th position, right? This position over here is the 8th position. This position, right? Over here is the 6th position. This V shows to the left and to the right, just like our unestimated value of A, which is actually like this for the A, or like this for the A, or like this. It's the left or the right. I like to call it the delta angle, right? And you have gamma delta. 7 and 4. Remember that number, right? 74. Did you know that 39.37 or 78.74? This is 2 yards. This is 1 yard, a metric yard. We have to know the difference between a 36-inch, right, and a 3.37. That's difference in the yard. See, 33, 6 and 9, over to the 7th gate in rotation of the sun, birth, and life. Your 6 and 9 is your life and your birth. 33 to the sun gate. This will be your cube and your gate. 7 times 3 is 21 and 10 equaling to 31. All zeros equal to 6, making it 37, and we start all over again. Earth creation. 7 times 3, 21 by 3 equals to 63, and 16 equals to 79. Birth gate. Your 63 creation. Every one of these is a value of 21. 7 and 9. 7 and 9 are very special. PQRS to WXYZ. 98 and 70 valued at 53 and 72 because Q17 and Z26 equal to 43. 1 and 7 equals to 8. 2 and 6 equals to 8. There's a difference of 17 and 26. 43 is DC. They moved the gateway. The ATM supports the Z and the Q on it. Whatever I do, you usually can find it somewhere. I don't want to make anything up. It serves me no purpose. If we want to bring peace amongst the people, we have to know exactly what we need to see. And then we can decide what we want to do. It's pretty simple. Right? It's pretty simple. And not so simple. So we had the sun birth. So this is your 69. Now inside of that is your gateway. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8. Here's your 7 and 8. When you do this, I know I'm all over the place, but here, take a look at this. 74, 78, 5 and 6. Do you remember I just told you? Our birth, creation, our fabrication, or Abba, is right here. Abba. Why is it 1, 2, 2, 1, which is A, B, B, A? Is because of this. Right? It's because of this. 6, 5, 5, 2. 6, 5, 5, sorry, 6. 22 is the V letter in the E world. It also means life and your birth. Once you have the E world on your back, this is the skeleton that brings you into the world, that brings your mirror into the world. The 5 might be over here, but if you're looking at these dots, right, things have to be replaced. When you look at these dots, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 in the empty space. That's Venus bringing you in the heavens. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 brings you into 6 and 8 heaven, divided by the 7th gate. Somehow it seems to be A, E, and I. This E world, your birth into this world over here, right? But when you take a look, where do we play from? We don't play from over here between 2 and 4, which is 3 creation. We play between 6 and 8, which is that 7th gate. From Uranus we play, entrapped between the E world and Pluto, between Jupiter and Pluto. Between what is Saturn and Neptune, we play in Uranus over here. Now the question is, where amongst our own body are these planets? Now I know I speak too quick. I'm a little bit all over the place. I wanted to show you, yes, I wanted to show you that. Again, we're going to go over these. Here is number 5. Here is number 5. 9 goes in between. 8 meets 9. 7, 8 joins 7 and 9. 7, 8, 9. 8 joins this, right? 8 joins that. 6 is over here. So what you have is you have 1 and 5 equals to 6. You have 6 and 2 equals to 8. You have 2 and 4 equals to 6. You have 5 and 3 equals to 8, right? So we're going to take a look, see if that's real. We have 1 and 5. And then we have 2 and 6. And we have 2 and 4. 2 and 4. 5 and 3. 5 and 3. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 6 and 5 equals 11. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 is 12 and 8 equals to 20. 2 plus 0 equals to 2. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. They're identical. 2 plus 4, 2 times 4 equals to 8 equals to 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 5 times 3, 15 equals to 23. 2 and 3 equals to 5. It's identical. The truth and the math is identical. Now let's do the last one, and this is where 5 pi comes in, which is 3 and 3 equals 6. What is 4 and 4 equals to 8 and 16 equals to 24. Okay, 3 times 3 equals to 9 equals to 15. 1 and 5 equals to 6. 2 and 4 equal to 6. Also, you have to note that within this, right, that within this, okay, this one over here is going to revert back to this one over here. And this one over here reverts back to this one over here. So these two will now repeat these two, where 5 and 2 equals to 7, to where now you have the 6 over here, which will reflect both of these. So we play from this world, the E world of Earth and Mars. Do you follow and see how freaking perfect this is? Right? And not to forget what we did over here, that also I mentioned the tennis bit, right? The 15-15 score in tennis. I also mentioned the truth about the meter over here, when you have the 2 meters, and where this shows up over here. All I did, 1 and 4 is 5. 2 and 3 is 5. 3 and 2 is 5. A, B, C, D. Remember, We went over this once before. Let's see if we can do it again. The ABCD. ABCD, ABCD, ABCD. Right over here, right? This equals to your 6. Where did I do that? Right over here. Your ABC is 6 for 60 seconds on the clock. Your BCD is 9 for the 90 seconds for the world of 3 periods. Your 888 works with this one over here. 888 works with the birth 9. The reason for that is, I'm going to show you if I can get this out. Your 6666. Okay. Your 9 works with your 888. I think your 6 works with your 666. I'm just trying to remember which it is. I'm going to try and explain this to you. Is that when you're working in quarters, right? You're going to go 6 times 4 equals to the 24-hour day, right? When you're working with thirds, right? You're going to go 8 times 3 equals to the 24-hour day. You're also going to say man on day 6 times 28-hour cycle of the moon, arrival on the planet 168 hours a week, right? To where you go 7 times 24 to the divided gate of the moon to 168 hours a week, to where we're born from the cycle moon of Mars, to where we have, and we run at 84 because there's 2 moons. It's 84 and 84, where we run a singular moon, a complete 168. So when we look at this, we also have to understand the 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, and 9. When we run it to the division or multiplication of 3, 1, 2, okay, will equal to 0.333. This one will be 1.333, and this is 2.333. By this expression, okay, it's telling me where my 0, 1, 2 is. Remember 210. Remember that. That's going to be 21 for the cube, 21 dots. 21 for blackjack. It's also going to be the 21-6, our birth from the moon. 6 by 21, 126. This is your alphabetic creation, or your 36 or 360 degrees, whichever way you want it, will create the house of Bate. Your 90-degree plane to be standing up, and the heavens of birth. Your H and I, the window of Mars. Window 88. Remember, 88 was put onto the ATM, and the numbers were moved over, right? This happens to be the I and the R, taking on the pole position. Pole equal to 48. Position possibly positive, right? This will be 29 and 58, 68, 78, 86, 96, 100, 116. I think it's 117, which is exactly the cube. 16, 31, right? P and O is 31, and then 28. These two, 31 and 28 is 59, 69, 79, 88 with the I, and then 88, 98, 108, okay, 117. Because I know these two are 29, I know these two are 29, I know this is 28. Cycle of the moon. Also note that your birth and brings 2 worlds together. The A and the B world come together in this in order to create your 911. 11 comes 7 is the exact numbers that this cube is, that Rubik's cube is, that this is over here. Understanding that 12, right, is possibly because we added on 2 ends of the shoelace, right? 10, 11, 12, we add on 2 ends of the shoelace. Perhaps it's to continue on that figure 8 that we have to add on that area over here. Or let me see if I can do this. So this is 2 octagons. How many sides on 2 octagons? 16. How many do you count? 14. How many do you see? 15. 8 and 8. Now we have the line that's in between, so we have 8 and we have 7 equaling to 15. If I don't count the inside line, I have 14 plus the 1 on the inside. This is your Mars setup. 5 and 1 is your Mars setup. This equates to the half-life when you use this number. Here's the 1 dot and here's the 6 dot. That's the half-life. And that half-life is 2.5. Also, it's Earth. When I see it the other way, Mars is 1.5. And Mars shows up on the numeric value for Earth. So it's telling you Mars is running inside of Earth. What does this mean? It means like this. 2.5 plus 1 equals 3.5. Big deal. 2 plus 1.5 equals 3.5. Big deal. 4 minus 0.5 equals 3.5. Big deal. Big deal. 3.5 is the heart. Is the heart of the cube. The heart of this cube, 105, 10.5. They throw us the moon. They throw us the moon. Why the harvest moon? What is going on? What is being held back inside that moon? What information are we not receiving in this game of the skeleton alphabet? In my game, if we all stood home for 1 week or 2 weeks, what would happen if we couldn't leave the house for 2 weeks? What would happen if nobody left the house for 2 weeks? Forget about what you feel is an obligation. Because if nobody leaves the house, there is no obligation other than medical. Now, if it's medical and no one leaves the house, then, well, now you got to go to the hospital, so that's important. Now you need the packages delivered. That's important. How do you stop life from moving on and make changes at the same time? This is important and that is important. And it's getting cold outside, so somebody has to deliver the oil. Somebody has to burn with wood. How do we break out of this cycle? Do you not think that the Creator already saw this? Well, it's already been set up. And the setup is, as I read everything that I do, you will see the cuckoo-ness, the clowniness that is happening outside in this world. Anyways, I want to go back. I was talking about the 23 and the 24 earlier on. I don't know if you remember. I was talking about, and I'm very unhappy that I went so far forward. Yeah, I was talking about the 888 and the 6666 because there's 4 times 6 for 24. There's 3 times 8, right? The 888 comes in with the 3. The 666 comes in with the 4. The ABC 6 world, the 60 seconds on the clock, okay, to what is the world that is the 9 birth. Right? 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. So you can see that things were switched around. Now the question is, I'm just a little mixed. I can't find, there's something missing. I don't know if I should go with 9, 6 because 1 is our birth to our life, but we're living, right, in the heavens, right? If we're living in the heavens, that would be number 8. But we're living at the 7th gate of the heavens. We're living at the heart, at the diamond, the king of diamonds. Okay, now I need to remember what was the song Krista Berg, because I believe that if we are just living out creation as it is for say, remember or think or believe or remember to understand that if we read somewhere in the Bible, whether you're an atheist, it doesn't matter, right? We have to debunk whether or not, right, is there any other life? But since we seem to want to have another life, and some believe that there is another life, right? And then what is creation? Who is it for? I'm going to tell you the way I would do it, right? You know the way I would do it? And make everybody just like me. Everybody be just like me. Just like me. With free will. Go do. The only difference is the 888 of the group. I'm on the bottom of the group, lying down. Everybody's standing on me. I know everything that's going on, and I'm adjusting for the life you're living. I can't do it all myself. I had to create a reflection. I'm one of the pyramids, and you're the other three pyramids. I'm the bottom part. I'm ABC, you're DEF. I'm ABC6, you're DEF. 4, 5, 6, 15. I am ABC6, you are DEF 15. Saturn square is all about 15. When you add 1 through 5, it equals to 15. The game of pool, which has an 8 ball to the 7th gate, 7 and 8 is 15. 1 times 7 or 17Q is 8. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8. You find 7 and 8 as in GH in LAF, sounding like the F, equaling to 15. 1 and 5 is 6. You see the 15 when you go to P and H equals to 24, 2 and 4 is 6. Although P as 16, 1 and 6 equals to 7, PH equals to now 7 and 8, 15, 1 and 5 equals to 6. So we have to understand all the how everything moves over. Are we coming from the top, moving down to earth and creation, living in the lower life at 3? Or are we living in the upper world in Uranus or on Earth? Between 2 and 4, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 divides the 7th gate. Is it dividing the 7th gate because of our birth over here? Is it dividing it between the 2 moons? Demas and Phobos. Demas, D, and Phobos, 7. 7 and 4. Energy, 7 and 4. 47, the beast, 74. Jesus. 7 times 4, 7 plus 4. 28 and 11 equals 39 angels. The IC coming together. The smallest numbers before birth creation of 12 is 3 and 9 equals to 12. Not 2 and 11. Your 2 and 11 is your base creation. You do not have the dot inside the 2. You only have it inside the 3. It is your 3 dot plus 9. It is your 4 blank plus 8. So your mirror coming into the heavens doesn't support any spirit, right? You would think that way, but it's not true, because your 8, right, is all around to what is the holiness of itself, holding each one of these. The outside of these two will all equal to 10, meaning that this inside will equal to 10 in its own, but it's a single value in here equaling to 5 or 45, meaning there's 8 around 40. This one owns the entire 40 plus 5 itself. It's 40 and 5. The sun system's 9 times 6, 9 times 6, 9 times 5. We're born into the E world, right? This is us. Sorry, this is the world, and we come born like this. This is how we're born, like that. We're born like that. That's how we're born, right there. And then we put the body on it, right? You don't see anything else, right? You don't see anything else, but that's how we're born. All you get to see is our body. That's it. The numbers just show me all this. If you want to know where I got any of this information, if you're a little confused about what I'm saying, I'll go over it. I can repeat it. It's pretty easy, although it might take me a little bit of time because I'm just repeating what I'm reading off the numbers. Yes. So this is our basic. Here's our ABC, right? This is the lower side. Now, if I chop this up to the upper side, this is going to be different. I'm going to go and it's going to be 30. I'm going to flip my camera around and show you the upper side. All right, let me show you the upper side. So we're going to have A, B, C, D. We're going to have F, G, H, and I, right? And this, we're going to have 9 and 6, 7 and 8, equals to 30. So now we're going to go FGH, then we're going to go FGI, and then we're going to go FHI. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go GHI, right? GHI, that's your 888 average. This is your 7, 8, and 9. Okay, this is the gateway of the heaven's birth. Okay, this one is going to equal to 24. This one is comparable to DEF, which was going to equal to 9, right? 2, 3, 4 equals to 9. 9/11. 9/11, or the S letter, equals to 19, like I said, brings two worlds together. According to the way numbers are set up, right? This is how the cycle works. This one will go into here and will go into here. This one will only go into here after three times. Sorry, this one goes into here after 3 times. This one goes into here after 3 times. This one does not go into any other number. None of these go into these, right? Unless it's a combination. 3 times 1, 3. 3 by 4, 12, 1 and 2, 3. 3 by 7, 21, 2 and 1, 3. We already know, now we know that ABC 1, 2, 3 is our creation, and it all stems out of here. Because if I went 3 times 2, it's 6. That is the coming of our life. 3 by 5, 15, 1 and 5, 6. 3 by 8, 24, 2 and 4, 6. These two over here, 5 and 8, okay? These two over here, 5 and 8, will create 15 and 24. Remember those numbers, because those numbers, where is it over here on the dice? Because of those numbers, 15, 1 and 5, and 2 and 4. That comes together, and Earth and Mars, which is over here, is 66, which is that gateway. The 7th gate, which I showed you, is over here. 6, 6 connected by 8 and 9, coming into the heavens between the gates of 66 at the 7th gate. See the V11 that comes in here? It's just basic artwork. That's all it is, just basic reality. Another thing is that when we talk about 6, right? And remember, like I said, we're 6 from the 60s, right? And our 69th year is 2029. 60 ends at 1, right? 60 ends at 61. 61 is 1 year. 62, 63, 64. I'm born in 63. I'm born in the last year of creation. Or do you want to take it, right, in when 1959 begins, right? If you start 1959, it means it ended. So 1960 was 1 year. 1961 was 2 years. 1962 is 3 years. 1964 becomes the mirror year. Which way do you want to look at this, right? Because 0 time, right? 0 time doesn't count. So we don't count the 0 time. Then 1961 is the first year ended. 1962 is the second year ended. 1963 is the third year ended, right? And then we get into the leap year. It depends how you want to look at this in that reality. And 92 by 3 equals to 276. So on the 277th day becomes the birth, and that's October 4th. And when you look at these cubes, right, to understand it, where you have 10, reverse 4, so you have 5 and 5, reverse 2 and 2. At the same time, you have 6, and then you have 4, which reverse is 1 and 3. So now let's look at this reality. 25 and 10 equals to 35, which equals to 4 and 4 equals to 8. Look at that. 3 and 5 is 8 and 8. How about 6 times 4 equals to 24 and 10 equals to 34. 3 and 4 is 7. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4 equals to 7. So we now know that this is actually a perfect reality in its own. That is your perfect reality in its own, and it is reflecting 11, 11, 11, 7, 7, 7, what is 33 and 21. 33V, 21D. V, 22, 4, D4. 3, and 3, 3, 6. Your base creation is what is 3 is 6. They're not reverse on this cube, but that is your base creation. It's either 3 and 6 dot, or it is 3 and 6 void. Born into the sun system. 3, 6, 4, 5, okay, equals to 18. 1 and 2 equals to 3. Your base creation comes from this over here, and then this one over here, or this one over here. What does that mean? See, your total of your game is 21. If you have a 1, you might be able to count it as ace 11 if you wanted to look at it that way, if we're talking about the game of blackjack. That 11 and 18, right, equals to 29. And it's all by coincidence that your birth, 2 times 9 equals to 18, 2 plus 9 equals to 11. The one birth into the heavens of creation. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is where your 1 and 2 equals to 3. Your 11 is your base creation of alpha beta. You come into this world birth in the Venus system. You come into V equals 22, go ape. Well, I just put that, right, because it's not really ape, it's A and E. Your life is the one spirit of the sixth life. You're 2.5 away from what is your creation in the E world, your AB in the E world. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. Right? Remember the A, B, C, D? Well, you have the B, C, D to where it is BC and BC that comes together and joins them at 55. When you create this 5 and 2 over here, right? This is Zion, Israel, and the operator creating that 34. I wanted to go back and show you that. Just did that just today or yesterday or something. Yeah, right over here. Check it out. Ram, pig, 32 by 32, 64, 124, an 8 by 8 chessboard. 1 and 6 the half-life, dividing the gate, connecting the star system. Here's the star system. I connect 1 and 6. 1 and 6 I connect over here. One and 6 connects over here. 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Why am I making all these mistakes? 3 and 4 connect over here. 7, 7, 2 and 5 come together over here, or they come together at 3.5, this area over here. Now, we can question, how am I going to connect? Should I connect like this? Should I connect the 1 like this? And also to note that the Mayan have their grindstone, right, of 13 and 7. That's the way it sets up. If you take a look at their grindstone, it sets up at 7s and 13s, and it's the same numeric value. 7 by 13, 91 is 13 cards in the deck of cards, right? Spirit equals to 91, the two worlds that we bring together. Remember, 7, 8, and 9 go here, and here's the 13. The 4 and 9, 13. The 7 and 6, 13. And then what we have in the center is 2, 5, and 8. Connects everything together. Now we go through the parallel of that. We go all the way down, 2, 5, and 8. Bah, bah, bah. That's what it says. And this is the connection. Now the 7 and 13, this will create a window. And the windows will create, it'll create the, instead of the tic-tac-toe will go this way, now the tic-tac-toe goes on this angle. And the 1 position, the 1, 3, 7, and 9, right? The 1, 3, 7, and 9 are here. And here becomes 2, 4, 6, and 8, right? 2, 8, 2, 8, 4, 6, 4, 6. And I put it that way because 4 has to be opposite of 6, 8 has to be opposite of 2, so whichever way it is. And we're living on the cross over here through number 5, which is number 74. Let me, okay, remember that because we have to understand each cycle. We have to understand what the multiplication of each cycle is, right? Look at that, 26, 26 leaves us at the connecting 7th gate. Number 66 is woman, number 66 is freedom. Polonium, we're not going to talk about it here. What I'm working on over here is doing an alphabet shift, right? The alphabet shift I'm going to show you after now that I have my better pen. Remember the 1/3, and when you're working with this one over here that we were at prior, remember 120 degrees, and this is 90 degrees. This is our basic alphabet of creation, and it has to connect to 12 or 21. It has to go through the moon of 2160. All zeros equal 6. One of the other reasons is we never use 8. You're either awake or asleep. You don't use both. You're either on the planet living or you're asleep. So 0 equals 6. You have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't own this area over here. That comes within you. You're breathing, you stay alive. You own only the 6. You own the 6 when you're awake, and you own the 6 when you're asleep. The 7, the 8, and the 9 card all have the same thing. Your connection within the moons, your connection within the spirit, okay? Here is how it works. In the void, in this void over here, you will have the sun and the moon, according to the deck of cards. Now, what happens in other cards, you're either going to be missing these 2 or these 2. When you're missing one of those, well, it becomes 1 and 9 and 3 and 7, right? But the value over here is 5 because it's the one spirit into creation through the 7th gate, through the 9th birth, through the 7th gate, living in the E world. So your life is right over here. So regardless of what comes up, if this comes up, it's between, you see this over here, it can be this or it can be this. But this cube will be on this angle. When it's on this angle doing this, it'll tell you about this. It'll revert to this. But when it's on this angle, you're going to be talking about AD, bringing 2 worlds together. All around here is always added to 14. Over here is always added to 7. Now, the thing about this is, just one second. I think I did this today somewhere. Okay, where did I do this? Where did I find this? Just one second. Saturn square and Saturn transit. Saturn square, Saturn transit is testing phase of that occurs every 14 3/4 years. 3/4 okay, first of all, when you see 1 and 4, it can also represent 4 to 1 or 1/4, right? And then you already know when it's 4, it becomes the mirror, it becomes the 22 parts of life of Saturn. And remember, 7 by 22 is where pi comes in. 3/4 also represents 75, which is the electric moon. 3 and 4 coming together is 1 and 1/3, and it's Earth and Mars coming together at the 7th gate. It meets every 14.35 3/4 years, which is 7, 22, 37, 51, 66, 81, which means 7, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 9. 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 9. The 2 and 2 is 4. The 7 and 3 is 10, is 1. The 5 and 1 is 6. So 3, 6, 9 with 1, 4, 7. mixes up together, right? These two, so these are the numbers of the rotation. And what it's showing me is 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 and 6 is 7. 1 and 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. When it moves into the 4 with 3, 6, 9, 4 and 3 is 7. 4 and 6 is 10, is 1. 4 and 9 is 13, is 4. 7 and 3 is 10. 7 and 6 is 13. 9 and 7 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. This is what happens. And then what happens after that, I'm not sure if I want to really do this, right? But I'm going to go 1, 4, 7. I'm going to make a mark here. I'm going to make, I have to make how many marks? I have to make 9 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I do that right? 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to go 1, 4, 7, 1, 4, 7. Whoop, I want to do it here. 1, 4, 7. Then I'm going to go 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8. Excuse me. Right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 4, 7 to 1, 4, 7 to 1, 4, 7 to 1, 4, 7. And then I'm going to go we did 3, 6, 9. Now I'm going to go 3, 6, 9 to 3, 6, 9 to 3, 6, 9. So you see the way the star is over there, right? So we're going to do this again, right? And we're going to try to do the same thing. 1 here, 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 and 1 here. And we're going to go 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 1, 4, 7, right, like that. But now what I'm going to do, instead of connecting 3, 6, 9, right, I'm going to connect 2, 5, 8. See, it's a little offset, right? It's a little offset. It's supposed to be like this and then like that. So you can see now that this one pointed up that way and this one points out that way, right? If I did it, if you really want to see what it looks like, right? It looks like this. Always leaving out one of them. 3 of 4, 4 of 5, 5 of 6, 6 of 7, right? The same thing now I mentioned I was going to show you how the 9/11 comes together. If you want to see how 9/11 comes together. Many have seen this already, so, and I have to repeat, never know where I'm going next. So let me see. Yeah. So here's what it is: 1 and 8. That's a connection. Then we have 2 and 7. That's a connection. Pretty cool, eh? So far. Now we have 4 and 5. That's pretty good connection. And then we have 3 and 6 over here. So we did all our 9s. We had a 1 and 8 equals to 9 and 8 equals to 17. We had a 2 and 7, okay, equals to 9. We had a 3 and 6. You notice the way the 3 and 6 are apart, right? 3 and 6 are apart. This is up a level. These two come together. 9 times 8, 9 plus 8. These will come together eventually. And then we have 4 and 5 equals to 9 and 20. equals 229 over here. So this is how the 9 sets up, right? The setup of the 11 is 2 and 9. You notice the way the 2, right? The 2 and 9 set up, and that's 11, right? We're just going to do it like that because it's going to look the same. And then 3 and 8, and then that's 11. Then 5 and 6, that's 11. And 7 and 4, and that's 11. So you see this one created this one, and this one created that one. In this one, I did not use the 9, 42. In this one, I did not use the 1, right? It was 11. It was both 1 and 1, so I used the 1 twice. 4 and 2, 6, 3 and 4, 7. Earth 52, 7. Mars 6, 51. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals to 6 equals to 7. So you're now going to connect what is Saturn and Uranus to create this world, right? Remember this number 2.5. I'm not sure where I use it, right? I forget where I use that number eventually. Note one other thing. I'm trying to remember what this was. The 7th gate of Mars. We live into the 8th heaven through the 9th birth at the 7th gate of Earth. We rotate, almost like saying we rotate. Okay, how can I do this? Let me see if I do it this way. It's not the same size. They're going to be different sizes, right? But we rotate. You notice, see this area here, right? I'm always going to cover that area, right? I'm always going to cover that area, and I'm going to rotate. So this is going to rotate between the two. Another thing is, okay, and I'm jumping a little bit all over the place. This is your 9/11 over here. The two worlds come together. Your S letter. But when the alphabet gets shifted 1 through 36 instead of through 19, right, the N becomes the 19th, the A becomes the 6th, the same as the cube. Now another thing is I have this, when I create the A letter, right, to the left and to the right, I'm assuming it's A minus 1, or it's minus 2, or it's minus 3. I'm not really sure which number I want to use, which means that if I did that, I can use P16 in order to get to my 19th area. They're inverted from each other. Not only that, in roulette, they invert to each other. The 16 and the 19 are inverted to each other in roulette. I'm going to show you over here. So if you go up a little bit, over here, right here, or over here, can you see? Can you? Let me see. Oh yeah, let me show you. Let me show you. Right here. No, sorry, here, because it's backwards. Right? You see these two? This area over here is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All the yellow is black. Okay? So when I invert, if I start A as a minus, sorry, let me take that down. If I start A as a minus, I only need to go to 16, right? I only need to go to 16 to get to my 19. Instead of starting it at, if I start A at 1, I get to 19S. If I start A at 6, right, I get to the N letter. But if I start with the minus, I'm going to get a P16, right? And my alphabet, I'm going to get to Z29. Very special number, this number. That's our basic birth creation inside the house. I mean, would you say that because our birth is 69 and not 29? Actually, our birth is 89, 16. It's a 69. We run in rotation of the sun 69, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. But we're 2 squared, 3 cubed, 8 and 9. The H and the I come together. So we have to understand the 3 squared and 2 cubed. The 3 squared and the 3 cubed and the 2 cubed and the 3 squared, equaling to 9 and 8, 17. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, equals to 8 and 9, 17. Do you follow why I did that? I did that because A can be to the minus side. They also say that the guy named Jehus, right, Zus, he was born before the time that they say. I want to do one more piece and we're going to end it. I know it's not a long video tonight. If you want, we can go over what happens. That the 29th of February, I like to call day 1. But I also want to look into the Chinese astrology, and I must put somehow somebody has to come up and walk and say, I need to teach you this. I need to learn the astrology. I need to learn the meanings of the animals. But most, I think I need to understand the rotation of all the signs between what is the Western astrology by the year and the Chinese zodiac. Sorry, the Western astrology, the 12 months, and the Chinese astrology. Noted that we are 60 in the 60s right now. This is apparently, is it the 63rd or the 64th year being completed? Once we hit 2025, right, it means it's over. It's over. So we've completed our mirror year already. We're into 65. We're into 65. We're into 11. Right? We're going to be in 58, 57, 85. Remember 57. So we have April 2nd. April 1st is the 92nd day. Right? February 29th is the 60th day. I want to say it's going to be day 1. We're going to run from February 29th, right, to February 28th, to February 28th, to February 20, to February, hold on, I want to go from here to 1 year, to 2 years, to February 28th, to February 29th. I want to run this cycle. I want to run this cycle over here. We begin here, right? Just let me mark it down a little bit different. We begin here. We go to here 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, right? This is the 3rd year. We end it over here. We begin the next year. So from here to here is 1 year, to here is 2 years, to here is 3 years, to here is 4 years. And we end it. Let's do it again. From here to here is 1 year, to here is 2 years, to here is 3 years. It ends on the 28th. We begin over here. This will be the 300, right? This will be the 1461st day. 14, is it 1461? Let me see. 365, 365 equals to 1,095, and 366 equals to 1461. Now, just let me do something. 26 times 6 equals 156 times 21. 156 times 21 equals 3276. 156 times 33 equals 5148. 156 times 54 equals 8428. Now I want to do 162. Let me see if I got the right. 27 times 6 equals 162 times 21. 162 times 21 equals 3402. 162 times 33. 5346. I'm missing a number. There's a number missing in this. I'm gonna just give me a second to find it. Give me a second to find it. 1461 divided by 7, is it? No. Just give me 1 second, because inside of Rubik's Cube, okay, just to note, there are 27 area space in Rubik's Cube. Area equaling to 25, space equaling to 44. 25 for Earth, 44 for teen, dividing the night and the day. Multiply and add. Understanding when we do this, it's 24 hours of the day, and the day works in thirds. I don't remember what that number is. 156. Let me look at that number again. Let me try and see. Just give me 1 second to try this out. I have 26 cubes, 156, 162, right? 162, 54. Let me do 1461 divided by 54 equals to 27. 27 times 9. Oh, let me do another thing. 45 times 6 equals. Here's another thing. 3 times 90 degrees equals to 270. 4 times 90 degrees equals to 360. The reason for that is the face of numbers equals to 45. Fox 45. When you add up all these numbers, it equals to 45. Where the core number that surrounds the 5 equals to 40. And the inside number equals to 5. It's 40 plus 5. All these that go around. But the thing is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 7, 8, 9, 6. We also switch it. It can also be 8, 9, 6, 3 with 2, 1, 4, 7. So when I spoke before, creating my 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, right? When I come into the birth through the 7th gate, it'll be the B world. It'll be 3, 6, 9, 8 with 2, 1, 4, 7. Bringing these two together, Neptune and Uranus, connecting your 9 birth to this 8 portal. We're coming out of the E world. That's what sticks to our back. That's our cross to life. The cross holding up the back to everything. Yeah, there was a number missing, 1464. What is that 1454? Let me try and calculate. I know people might be bored with me doing this, but I've had the number many times, and I'm trying to remember what it was. There's 26 cubes times 6 sides equals 156. 156 times 45. No, that's 7,020. That's pretty funny. Check it out. House of Bait, 27 at the gate in the House of Bait, the one spirit of your 6th life. Your 2 and your 7 are right here. They're the same fingers. It's the same thing as the 9th finger over here and the 4th finger to get married, right? The marriage finger, marriage, Mars, Ram, arm. 1461. What is it? I know it doesn't come into 1461. 730, 137. Anyways, whatever it is, just to note that there are 26 times 6 equals to 156 faces that surround the center of Rubik's Cube. 156 spaces times 54 equals to 88,428. If you want to see that the gateway is in between 8 and 8, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 will create the 7th gate. If you want to look at 84 Pluto to the 28th cycle, whichever way you want to look at it. If you want to look in the house of Bait, 342 our vibration to the 21 dots. Earth and Mars to the 7th gate. If you want to look at electric company, here's your 33, rotation of the sun. 7, 11 on the outside. What's inside is the 7 plane inside of the 1 and 1. 11 is your base creation, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the only ones that are doubled up on the cube. 1 and 2 are not doubled up. There's singularity. A and B brings in your gates. This brings in your gate. See this over here? 43. 4 void and 3 void to what is 7 void and 8 void. 7 and 8 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 6, 3, 4. 364 days a year. This is your alpha beta creation. Do you understand where I'm going with this? There's always 9. There's always 9. Now the formations we run is 1, 4, and 7. Or 10, 13, and 16. 10 and 13 is 23, and 16 is 39. Is that right? Angel is 39. Let's see if I got it again. 10 and 13 is 23 and 16. We also get it again at 25 or 52. The 2 dice together, right? If I have a total of 61, or if I have a total of 31, you can also have a total of 94. 9 and 4 is 13. You can also have 49. So all of these are going to create stories. So for the last piece of the night, yes, another thing is, has anybody ever heard of the C note, right, that you're singing? Well, if you want to say the C note C19, right, is it's bringing 2 worlds together. Your 10-10 world, 10 times 10 is 100. 1 and 9, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 2 and 8, 10, 4 and 6, 10. This one on the inside, I regard as the half-life. Unless we use these 6 here, these 6 here, these 6 here, these 6 here. Or these 4 here, these 4 here, these 4 here, and these 4 here. How are we moving the 4, which we begin with 4, the Mars, we add on our beta 2 life, and we run 6 at a time. These 6, these 6, these 6 are these 6, right? You're always going to keep the 5 in there. Do you follow what I'm saying? We run the half-life. The 4 is the base. The 10, A, B, C, D, 10, reverse 17 cube. That is your base. We come into the E world. We live as the 9 birth to the 6th life through the 7th gate into the heavens of 8. 8 and 6 is 14, and it's the always around this cube. So now what I want to do is we're going to end it on this next one. I've done this a few times. It's just going to be a reminder. Here's one piece where when you see this one over here, it can also look like this. 1 and 2 equals to 3. Call this 1/3. The 1/8. Let me see if I have the 1/8 over here somewhere. I think the 1/6 is going to equal to the 224. Did I get that right? Hold on a second. 1/6. No, hold on. No, it's this one over here. 4 over 24. No, hold on a second. I'm a little, just let me find my spot. Yes, 2 over 10, or this one over here. Or 2 over 1, or alpha beta, which will be 1/5, would it not? So that'll change into 1/5. And then that'll be part of Mars. This goes to the pool table. They're both blue. One is the high, one is the low. I'm just trying to show you that if I use 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, 4 and 8 are all the same. They're the same separation, right? It's 1/3 of the number. Let me go and, oh yes, here's the one piece I wanted to end it with, right? 71 minutes is 1 hour, 11 minutes. Now remember, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Delta is where our creation comes in. We come into creation right here. We move from one world into the next, into the mirror. 4, reverse 3, right? 3, what makes everything perfect? 3 times 7, 21, 3. 3 by 4, 12, 1 and 2, 3. 3 by 1, 3. 3 by 2, 6. 3 by 5, 15. 1 and 5, 6. 3 by 8, 24. 2 and 4, 6. So we have 6, 15, and 24. How about this? Do you know the reverse of that is 8, 17, and 26? Headquarters, Fox headquarters. And this total over here equals to 51, and so does Mars, holding our 234 vibration to 876. 234 vibration to 876. See the way it's, we skip out with this one, we skip out in this one? It's because we run with this one here. We run with this one here. So we run these 3, and we run these 3. This and that. So we have 21 and 9. So we have UI. I'll give you an ICU. So anyways, here, let's go. So 2 times this will be this hour. 3 times this will be this hour. 4 times and 5 times. Now, just like the cube, you can only see 5 sides. After that, it turns over on 666. It's on the other side. 2 parts of creation. It's 333, intermediary with 111, and then another 3, 1, 1. It's 313, 111, 313. But to note that if you're looking at a 24-hour day, we have to work with 8s, right? We have to work with, hold on a second, the 24-hour day, I'm going to have to work with 888 or 666. So I can't work with the singularity. So how would I work with my 8s? I don't know yet. Let's leave that out. But that's just a question to speak about. Also to note, each one of these will be a mathematical equation. We're not going to get into that. Now we're going to get to the 724. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. 7 hours is 420 minutes, plus 24 is 444. 11 hours, 6 minutes, 660 minutes. 3 hours and 42 minutes. 3 by 60 is 180, 222. Remember this, that our vibration in 222, let's remember that. I'm going to show you that this line over here adds to 222, 222, 222, 222. That's our 666 star system. You only use 3 of 4 lines, 3 out of 4. You get down over here, 12 hours, 57 minutes is 720, 777 is right here. Note, 57 is electric. These 2 will add up, it'll be 3, and then 12, 1 and 2 is 3. This comes into the mark as 33, and this is our rotation through that number. 343, that's what that number will be. When multiplied and when added, it'll be 3 and 343. This one over here, 16 hours, 39 minutes equals to this, it'll be 739. Into the gateway of our creation, of our birth. Now, what's ironic about this, if you haven't noticed yet, have you noticed yet? Have you noticed anything what's going on? 4 and 2 is 6. 6. 4 and 2 is 6. 5 and 7, okay, 4 and 2 is 6. Sorry, we have to say 1 and 5 is 6. 3 and 3 is 6. 5 and 1 is 6. The minute we jump after 12, 5 and 7 is 12. 3 and 9 is 12. 4 and 8 is 12. So you see, it follows a direct, constant pattern. We are living in creation. That's what it is. And like I said at the beginning, I want to make everybody, I need an extension of myself. I need an extension of myself. I need to leave everybody with free will. So we create a trinity and a trinity and a trinity. And then I'm on the bottom of this, picking up the core of that trinity. And then moving over from one moon to the next moon in order to control what's going on, and the moon gets bright and I switch the moons around. The 3 moons are always moving around. You never know which moon we're going to get, right? We never know which moon that's going to pop out of the sky as it's rotating in the yin and the yang. The dots that you see on the yin and the yang, you see 2 dots, but there's only one. You see this one, and then you see this one, and then you see this one, and then you see this one. You see that S letter, right? You see that S letter? That's what's happening. You're just rotating between moons, right? Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I want to thank you for watching this video. I didn't put up my buy me a coffee. S'il vous plaît, please help support the channel. Sound like a beggar, right? I'm a beggar. There I go. It is 12:55. It is 3:55. That number, does that number show up anywhere? 180 and 55. 235. Thank you for joining me tonight. Please share. If you can't support monetarily, that's fine. What you can do is write down. Let's see if we can find someone to create some kind of page where I can put all this information so that people can see it, or a programmation so I can program and show you other alternative realities that are happening in roulette, blackjack. What is professional and what is amateur. To note that I use French and English, a little bit of Spanish. I follow different places in the world, like the Chinese zodiac. I want to look at the zodiac. I want to look at the astrology and the zodiac, if that's anything together. It's very imperative that I understand the skeleton connected to this, because it's the numbers that's moving everything around that I can see. And thank you for watching this video. Peace and love. Good night.